Hello, LinkedIn, Twitch. I can't talk. It's Friday. It is Friday. Capping off a very successful first week at Electrify, and I'm really digging it. It's we have an exciting product with so much potential, and hopefully soon I'll have Noelle on the show on the live feed. Maybe I'll be on her live feed. Who knows? And we can kind of all geek out. If you don't know who I am, I'm Frank Lavinia. You can catch me on Twitter and Instagram. I am going live to celebrate a successful first week and that the plumbing in my house is once again working. Yes, there was some plumbing drama. Basement flooded. Not to the office, thankfully, but since I did get some new equipment and I kind of took the opportunity to rearrange the office. Hopefully the background is a little cooler. Still got the 6-monitor rig. My work desktop setup is back there. And that's the sit-stand desk. So I just took this as a chance to kind of change the physical scenery, kind of like as if I were really changing jobs in a kind of non-pandemic world. So this view hopefully will be better. I think the lighting is better. I have 2 monitors here stacked on top of one another and kind of blocked out the sun, if you will. So this way, I'm going to give this a shot. I've been meaning to do it, but I'd been slammed for the longest time, and don't really have anything kind of big to say on this live stream, but wanted to kind of show some of the things that are happening on franksworld.com. Some very interesting research talk from Microsoft Research was posted. And let me change this. Where if you look that way, Microsoft Research has this really interesting reinforcement learning talk on sequential decision analytics. And it's with the researcher Warren Powell. Very interesting, kind of, I think has the potential to take reinforcement learning to the next level. And the good folks at Edureka have posted another class on the kind of the basics of Python objects and classes. Here's an interesting talk. I think this was done by the global AI community on protecting your financial ML workloads using a technique called confidential computing. Lots of interesting stuff. Cosmos DB, those folks had a virtual summit or an event this week. Totally check it out. It was all streamed. Olivier is doing some good work still at Microsoft. See, I'm still going to share Microsoft stuff. Like the Channel 9 videos are awesome. Microsoft Research stuff is awesome. Look to hear some more stuff in that regard soon, even in the podcast. Which reminds me, I have some emails I need to respond to. So all of this is to say that the awesomeness is going to accelerate, not change, not de-accelerate. So just want to give you a heads up. I'm still listening to my Grant Cardone tapes. I'm still listening to Ed Milet. I still have every intention of contributing more to the community via live stream, via Andy and I's secret project. Which is still in the works. And if you want to know more about that, hit me up in the comment below wherever you see this, or comment now, chat now, if you're online. I do realize it is a rather nice afternoon after a chilly morning here at least in the Northeast. A lot of interesting stuff here in regards to, you'll notice I'm posting some stuff on space exploration. I'm just fascinated by it. It's not, it'd be cool to go to Mars. But in addition to data science and stuff, this is an interesting conversation that the folks at the AGI Inception podcast, Rupesh and Alberto, if you don't listen to their show, you need to stop what you're doing, listen to their stuff. It's good. Both great guys. Rupesh had me on his Instagram live feed. Rupesh is the ultimate kind of entrepreneur. He's new version of his Pixie app, which basically lets you capture image data and classify it right away. All in a way that they don't really touch the data. It goes straight to your OneDrive. It's pretty cool, actually. Definitely check that out. Rupesh is an awesome guy. And in terms of anything going on in your world, so I ripped apart all my computers and I kind of redid the wiring because when you have this many monitors and you know a microphone like this, so I'm actually not using this because I hit the live feed before I realized I hadn't plugged this in yet. So it's been it's been it's pretty interesting, and this angle I think will force me to clean up, keep my office clean more often, and which is a byproduct of the flood. Uh, yeah. So with that, I mean, I'm having a fantastic week. I hope you are too. If you have any questions about data science or AI or ML, just drop it in the chat and we'll see if I can answer it. Put me on the spot. Frank, not Johnny on the spot, Frankie on the spot. How about that? Speaking of which, this is where's my name? That's my name and my 3 URLs. I actually just finished watching a good lecture on quantum computing while I was plugging this computer in. I had it on the TV, and a lot of good stuff. A lot of interesting things I think are in the horizon for the tech industry and all of us in general. I think as the pandemic fades, there is a lot of pent up demand. Not really sure what that's going to look like. I'm actually optimistic for the future, and I think we're in a unique time in history. One of the previous Microsoft execs was, talking about this is a once in a lifetime type opportunity, and I was saying it's really once in a century. I mean, less than once in a lifetime. I mean, people lived their lives since the 1918 pandemic and died before this one. So this is one of those things that happens once a century or so, and it's rough, but hard times make hard people. Hard people make good times. Good times make soft people. Soft people make hard times. It's kind of a recurrent cycle in history. And how's that for veering off topic? So you'll see now I can kind of show off some of the stuff I have in my bookshelf. I've got my Lanyard Connect collection, some books, a couple of sculptures, some of my motivational stuff way in the background. Maybe I have to move my Yoda quote because I used to love seeing that in the stream. Actually, that was from my work demo. So, yeah, I clearly need more coffee, but hope you're all doing well. And I don't really have an agenda so much as just kind of talk about the stuff that's happening in the technology world. And, like I said, Cosmos DB had a really great conference this week. I haven't been able to ingest it all because I've been busy tooling up and skilling up in my new role. But for those of you who have asked me, like, hey, why are you still sharing Microsoft stuff? Well, one, I share what's relevant. I share what's useful for my audience. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm not doing it, and then I'll adjust. And secondly, Microsoft creates interesting stuff for my audience. And third, they still make good stuff. They make good stuff. And it was a struggle for me to choose leaving Microsoft, but the opportunity here, the exciting things we're doing at Electrify, it became kind of an obvious decision that I needed to make. So look for the more blog content. I think I actually posted for my first time in like 3-4 years since I rejoined Microsoft an AWS focus story. I knew better. I knew not to do that while I had the blue badge, as they say. And where is it? I'm scrolling and it's not on the screen. There actually was an interesting story on Oh, this was my first ever kind of GCP post where it was, but I thought it was interesting. I thought it was about the different layers of security that you get in a data center, and I think that the laws of data center construction and management are the same regardless of who owns that data center. Good practice is good practice. And my little Frank's World bot is there. So I need to upgrade that, by the way. Change some questions. So with that, I mean, it's just I am progressing, and I hope you are too. Hope you have a great hope you had a great week. As you can see by the floor below me, I have a lot of wires that, you know, when you take apart like kind of your desktop setup or whatever, and then you have wires, you're like, whoa, where'd that go? Like, what's not working? Like for this example, this microphone doesn't work. I'm actually using the microphone on the webcam, which I have no idea how good the quality is because I always had my trusty, rusty Blue Yeti. And you can see behind me for my work calls now, I have a Blue Yeti Snowball with also a pop filter. So, you know, if you're going to do anything worth doing, it's worth doing right. And that's a motto I've tried to live by. And sometimes that means you overdo things, but it is what it is. So that's it. This is my ad hoc thing. I felt bad I hadn't really streamed. You know, for those of you new to the feed, welcome. But typically, I tend to stream multiple times a week. I strive for 5, but this week I only did, I think, 1 live stream on Tuesday, and definitely have a lot more to say and a lot more to go over, particularly as I get more familiar with what we're doing at Electrify. And I just realized with this camera angle, I can't, I need to, well, the reason why the camera is at this angle is because there's like from a previous flood from the kitchen that time, we've had a history of plumbing issues in this house. Some of it are our doing, some of it just wear and tear. So there's like huge swaths of the ceiling that have been ripped out. So I'm always very careful about that. So, you know, like it's just how the shot is framed kind of matters. But if you look, like there's a little bit of thing there. And then if you look here, that has been the bane of my existence, which was a big motivator. Oh, here we go. Which has been a big motivator to move the camera around. So that's not really in the shot. But I will have to be mindful of what's on my screen in the future. Maybe I'll put a nice little Electrify logo. How about that? So with that, my name's Frank Lavinia. I hope you have a splendid weekend. I do try to stream on Saturday mornings, and we'll see if I can do that tomorrow. And that's all I got. I hope your weekend is well. I hope it's nice weather where you are. And look to see some changes on Frank's World soon, including an official post saying that I've done that. Although I've upgraded, I've switched jobs, but I've done it on LinkedIn, so I don't know how useful that would be on Frank's World. But check out this talk. This is really interesting. This is one of the best. It's an interesting kind of take on reinforcement learning. It's fascinating. And this was cool too. This guy built a GLaDOS in real life using Alexa. So he took hits and changed the voice and everything. Very cool, very fun to watch. Definitely an inspiration in terms of, kind of a maker project. I mean, this guy went all out with the robot and the CNCing and the metal, and he was actually talking about a service that you upload, you design something on like a CAD program locally, and then you ship it to somewhere, and they'll actually laser cut it on really hard, like really serious types of steel, like bulletproof. Like it's pretty cool actually what he did, and I like what he I like that guy. Mr. Volt, I think, was the let's click through that. I think it's Mr. Volt. He has a whole teardown video how he did it and stuff. But but you'll see he's really gone all out. So he must be a fan of Portal. Oh, I'm not even showing my screen. Yeah, it's Mr. Vault. Check him out. Actually, how come I'm not subscribed? Just fix that. So this guy's cool. He basically built out this whole thing, and like he really went all out. If you look at that, I mean, that's dedication. And apparently some frustration. So he actually did this whole thing where he hacked Alexa and stuff like that, and like it's pretty cool actually. And he explains why he did it because he didn't use the built-in skill service. So that's where he's showing like he designed that. That's the Aperture Science logo. Yeah, it's a really cool video. I definitely check it out. I love to have this guy on a live feed because this guy, he just seems like a trip. All right. So with that, I have yammered and on long enough. My name's Frank Lavinia. You have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for tuning in to Frank's World. Have a great weekend.